earlier today, and it's really a great tool. So when a crew on a regular sanitation route, when they see bulky material at the curb, they can use an app that'll then go ahead and take a picture of that bulky material that's left on the curb, and it logs the location. All that data is compiled, and then the large item pickup crew can get sent right to the location to get those items picked up and take them to the dump. So without that app, crews, they used to actually have to write down by hand the location of where that large bulky stuff was left. Now they got the opportunity to be more efficient in their time in collecting that information and take it back at the end of their shift. That's what they used to do. So the technology, it gets the work lined up and completed faster. I'm really happy that we're employing new technology over the city. This is another example of how technology is helping us to be more efficient and helping out with our residents. As I said, we are joined by Alderwoman Andrea Pratt. We are in her district, and so I want to present an opportunity for the Alderwoman to have a couple remarks. So, Alderwoman.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. I'm Andrea Pratt, Alderwoman of the 1st District. I just wanted to say I've been driving my district, Capitol to Bradley Road, Port Washington to 60th Street, and there's devastation throughout in pockets of my district. I wanted to thank neighbors and residents for helping one another. I see that throughout every block that I've been on, neighbors helping each other clean their basements out. And I also want to thank the staff of DPW, because a lot of them are dealing with this same thing in their own homes, but they're out here today and every day and every night working for residents and for the city of Milwaukee to get this cleaned up. I'm confident that the city will, we already have a fast response, and that will continue to do so with residents' help, and just want to thank everyone for all of their assistance during this difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner?
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm going to go into a little detail what some of the technology that the mayor explained, how this is helping us. So if you're looking behind me, we're on North 19th Street, just north of Fairmount. If you look south on 19th Street, this is what this looked like yesterday. So obviously if you take the other direction, if you want to do it afterwards, it is clean. We're out here every day. We're putting in extra hours, late nights, until we can help the community clean up. So what Route Tracker is, and it's called a routeware software, is citizens are still calling in 286 cities, citizens are still putting click for action, but what our folks are doing is I have live data of where our sanitation routes are right now. So if you want to zoom in on the screen later on, I can show you, but I have 105 sanitation routes. We run that on a daily basis, every day. So what's happening is our folks are in the vehicles taking pictures of here's bulky waste. And what it does is it's helping us not in the one single areas, but sections like this. So they're taking long stretches of roadway so we can prioritize those hard hit areas first. Afterwards, we're still identifying where these other scattered locations are to help coordinate crews, but it's been a game changer. This is something we've been, I think the city and elected officials have been asking for years. We've implemented it about 2 months ago, and I'm pleased to say that I'm glad we have it now, especially in a situation that is such devastating to the city of Milwaukee that we have today because of the floodwater. So this is helping us not only, we're not telling people not to call in, not to click for action, but sometimes this helps us identify where there's more hard hit areas than others. I can go on a particular item, look at the issue, there's a picture of what it looks like, and that goes right to our supervisors to help route crews around the city. So we are trying to get around. I'm just going to tell folks again, as you look behind us, do not put your TVs and electronics out on the side of the curb. Please do it. We will not pick up refrigerators or stoves and appliances, but we will pick up everything else. Bed frames, I mean, these are people's households. I mean, some of these piles, it's unbelievable what our crews are seeing from, these are children's toys, these are beds, these are people's living spaces. But I just want to reiterate that our drop-off centers are open until 6 p.m. all the way through Sunday. When it comes into this weekend, we'll evaluate the volume if we have to extend that further. I do want to give the community a lot of appreciation. On day one, when we opened up the drop-off centers on Monday, we had 1,200 folks empty out their basements. Yesterday, we had well over 2,000. And then we understand the lines are long. Be patient. Our folks are there to help coordinate. Again, be safe when you're loading and unloading your materials because they are wet and heavy, and we understand that. But we're here to help. So continue to use Click for Action, continue to call in, but this is just another tool to help us clean the city up as quick as possible. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Alderwoman. We're happy to take a couple questions.
I have one for Husky. How many crews do you have out working? Is it more than normal? And how long are you anticipating this will take? I mean,
Yeah, it's a great question. So right now we have our regular sanitation routes, which is 105 routes, so we don't want to stop regular garbage. We have another 12 skid crews, which we're looking behind us. We've also supplemented that with what we call our apprentice loader. So that means your big back end loaders with dumpsters in some neighborhoods to basically help with these skid operations. How long is it going to take? We don't know. Obviously, we're going to continue to do this, work late hours around the clock as much as we can. We're going to get the city clean, but I do want folks to know it's going to take time. The city is 96 square miles, and we are trying to work as fast as we can. So any assistance from the public would be much appreciated. I do want to mention one thing. If you look off to the right, where the pile that the mayor had just cleaned up, you're going to see some residual leftover broken glass or tiles and things. We're just asking residents if you could help us out and just sweep that up. We could spend another 10 minutes on that location, but really the priority is getting rid of the large bulk items. So we're just asking citizens if they can help us out.
12-hour shifts?
Well, we're working all different shifts. So, I mean, if you see these guys, which are skid crews out here, they were out since 6 o'clock this morning. They will work all the way until basically the last packer's full, which is sometimes 8 o'clock at night. So sometimes they're working 14 hours, it depends.
Have you been able to kind of triage the whole city at this point? And if so, what areas are you prioritizing?
So, great question. So the whole city, for the most part, we kind of know where the major roads are hit. This is one of them right here in North 19th Street. We have others in Bayview. We have others in the south side, north side. So, I mean, this is citywide. There are particular streets in districts that are hit harder than others, and that's what we're trying to prioritize first. It's a lot. Tens of thousands of homes have had basements flooded and a lot of material sitting on the street.
Are you getting the data you need to pursue federal aid?
Sorry, repeat that?
Are you getting the data you need to pursue federal aid?
Yeah, so the governor joined us the other day to survey some of the damage here. So he was here in the city the other day, did declare a state of emergency. Part of that, though, is working with citizens in order to make sure that we tabulate the damage. And as you can see, it's pretty widespread, so I think we'll get there. We encourage citizens that do have damage to their property to call 211 to make sure that they report that. It'll help with our disaster declaration. So if you do have damage as related to the flood, please call 211 in order to report that so it can help out with our application.
Are people still calling for assistance there, or are you still calling?
Yeah, people are still calling. You know, I'm pretty sure the alderwoman continues to see that. I know that other alders I've spoken to continue to see that as well. We get those calls into my office too. So yeah, folks are still hurting, but that's exactly why we're out here. That's exactly why the Department of Public Works and other city agencies are stepping up, working overtime, working around the clock in order to make sure we address the situation for our residents.
Are there needs that you're hearing called in that the city isn't able to help with right now? I mean, people's fridges got destroyed. Like, how are you thinking about that?
Yeah, so we're going to rely on folks to use the tools that they have at their disposal too. The city can only do so much. So if folks have insurance, they have to obviously call their insurance. I mean, the question was asked about the disaster declaration, and what that would do is bring some federal resources down from FEMA in order to make sure that folks are able to get some relief that way too. So the city can only do so much. We're doing a lot, as you can see, in order to make sure we get the streets clean and back into order. But with the city's efforts, with efforts from the federal government, with folks on personal insurance, I think we'll be on a good path to get everything cleaned up.
You have asked for assistance.
Yeah, that's the reason why the governor was here the other day to declare that state of emergency, which I am very grateful for, and I know the citizens of Milwaukee are very grateful for as well. And not just Milwaukee. I mean, obviously this is a regional disaster, and so many communities around Milwaukee have also been affected. But again, the governor did come. He did make the ask of President Trump's administration. So we're hopeful that the president's administration will declare it a disaster and provide some federal assistance.
Have you been in contact with the White House at all?
I have not been in contact with the White House. My thing is I want to make sure this is as clean as possible. That request does have to come from the governor, and that request has been made. So I don't want to muddy up any waters. I want to make sure that we're able to get that assistance as soon as we possibly can. And if that line of communication has to come from the governor's office to make sure we're able to serve our citizens more quickly, that's exactly what I want to see.
Another DPW question. When it comes to snow, you guys know how to prepare for that, but for historic flooding, how do you guys prepare for this? I mean, I'm sure you're thankful like you had this type of technology ready to go, but
So there's not a preparation. You don't know when a natural disaster is going to occur. Although our folks are prepared. I mean, the folks you see behind me doing this work are the same folks that snow plow and do ice control during the winter. So if we're used to emergency situations. Same with our forestry crews if there's storm damage and trees down. Our folks are prepared and they're dedicated to the community. I mean, I have talked to so many of my staff checking in, doing wellness checks, as obviously their homes are damaged as well, and they says, we just want to clean everything up. We're here to help. And that's what we're here as DPW to do, is try to get as much off as possible and as quick as possible. So to say it's prepared for a flood, I don't think anybody is, but the way we do our job and the way we're routing our folks is efficient just like we would do with snow and ice.
What's the name of the technology again?
So the technology piece, it's called Routeware.
And why did you guys want to get it ahead of time? Was this for maybe winter storms? I mean, like you said, you weren't preparing for a flood.
Yeah, so we got this type of technology for many reasons. One is how do we route our crews to see live action data of where we're picking up individuals, garbage collection carts. We're trying to expand this over to other services as well. But it's also to say it's an active work order product. If you see an accident debris sitting on a corner, our folks can see that, put it into the system so we can address it as quick as possible. For us, it's about routing efficiency and to basically provide the best services we can for the citizens of Milwaukee.
And spell that first, please.
Routeware, it's Routewa. Hold on, let me put just what RE, just to make sure I was. So it's just route and then WARE. Yeah.
I mean, this is obviously going to cost quite a bit for DPW. Does that figure into the total cost of the city that you're trying
Yes.
to calculate?
Yes, the city is tracking all the hours put in towards the flood efforts, and so we're tracking every hour. Not only from our sanitation crews, our electrical services, our forestry, our street maintenance, the sewers, so the whole entire thing, we've got a separate work order number that we're tracking all of our costs.
Alderwoman Pratt and Mayor, can you all just describe the devastation that you all have seen in areas that you all been in?
I'll say that on Saturday night I was driving around just trying to survey damage as it was raining, and I could see in my neighborhood in Rufus King that it started to flood around midnight. So I started to drive my district, and I saw how extensive it was throughout the district and how quickly it was happening. Didn't feel safe, so I went home, got up early Sunday morning, and was shocked to find out as I went through my neighborhood and the neighborhoods in the 1st District how far-reaching it was. There are some houses on the west end of my district that don't have basements, so when the flood happened, they lost their entire first floor, their entire living space. I ran into a woman whose mother had recently passed, and she had stored her things temporarily in the basement, and she lost all of her mother's things. She's crying to me as she's cleaning out the catch basin in front of her house. So I've seen some really devastating things. People who had to throw out, it was a man who had an award from, an award that he had won, and somebody, because he had to clean out his basement, had been ruined because the wall had come down, so it's sitting on the curb in front of his house. So people are losing things that are very important to them. This is devastating. It's like they say a fire and a flood. Those are the things where it's difficult. You can't get those things back after they're destroyed. So I'm just praying for everybody in the district and throughout the city that's encountering this and working hard to find solutions for them and some assistance for everybody who's facing these issues.
What was your question? Do good to hear it.
Overall, as far as widespread devastation, what have you seen and describe what you've seen?
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen so many things and heard so many stories. People's entire basement wall caved in, as the alderwoman said. Entire living space is gone. I mean, this is in Milwaukee and Wisconsin. We have our living rooms, yes, but many of us, we also live in our basements, right? That's an extension of our living quarters, and so many people lost their belongings that way. The very first message that I got when these floods were happening was from my uncle, and he sent me a picture of his basement. You couldn't even get into it because the water was so high, it went up basically to the landing when you go into the basement. So everything there was lost. Vital records, the death certificates of your parents, your passports, photo albums. I mean, all these things that are sentimental that you can't replace, and folks have lost so much. So it's been very tragic, but I've been very, very encouraged by not just our city crews, again, who are doing an amazing job across multiple departments, but by citizens, everyday citizens in Milwaukee who are going out and helping their neighbors. You got folks who are going to help seniors to get their basements clear. You got folks who are clearing out the sewer grates in order to make sure that water was able to recede. You got folks that are going out there just checking on their neighbors to make sure that things are okay. You got folks, out there right now trying to encourage fellow citizens to make sure that they don't litter so that sewer grates don't get clogged up, right? All these things make a difference. And so I'm seeing Milwaukeeans step up, and it's great to see. It just reminds me that, look, there's nothing that we can't do when we all come together. And as unfortunate as it is, tragedies are things that do bring communities together, and we're seeing that play out right here in Milwaukee today.
If FEMA does assist in Milwaukee, will the city set up any sort of, navigators to help residents figure out how to get that aid?
Yeah, we'll be working through that. First and foremost, again, we got to get this emergency declaration done and see what the next steps are in order to access the aid from FEMA. But yeah, we'll be working through all those questions.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you.